I think over 200.
Oh.
or near 200 books over the years. Yeah.
There's various quality in them. Is there...
Yes, very, very. There was a wide variety of quality. Well, when we started the novel line, one of the goals with it was to kind of tell stories at what we viewed as the 3 layers of the cake. The first layer is, as you said, kind of that cockpit point of view, right? And those stories focus on, on individual men and women in the cockpit in battles, and it's kind of the trench view of the war, if you will, right? Down at the at the extreme tactical level. The second set of books was kind of at the another line of books they would weave in between, in and out, was kind of at the general's point of view. So it was a step up, and you were looking at the kind of larger strategic issues, right, and the politics that would be taking place at that middle tier. And then, of course, the top tier was the court intrigues, right? That would be with the leaders of the various houses, and the enormous kind of backstabbing and passions that drove the conflict at the very top levels of society. So that was our goal, was to be able to tell stories at all 3 tiers. Well, admittedly, most of my favorites are from the early parts of the storyline, just because that was when I was the most hands-on in the creation. And those are the ones that kind of stick with me the most. So, for instance, I think the Grey Death Legion books in the very beginning that worked with Bill Keith on, I think they helped. Those were important in that they helped capture that small-scale mercenary feel. A lot of what this game is that we're setting in is that same kind of trying to capture that same feeling of a small mercenary unit struggling inside of a larger conflict. And then the opposite end of the scale of that, really enjoyed working with Mike Stackpole on the Warrior Trilogy, which I think really kind of set the mold for that court intrigue level, and made those characters, of which I created, with Hans Stavian and all the other leaders of the houses, really made them come to life in an interesting and deeper way. So I think those are the ones that stick with me the most from my memory. That's a challenging subject. Because it's like saying, which of your children is your favorite? I have a couple. I guess I'm going to cheat and say a couple ones that are my favorite ones. One is the Wolf Dragoons. From a mercenary standpoint, the reason I like the Wolf Dragoons is it had a diversity of people within it. Right, you had the Black Widows, who were kind of crazy. I mean, Natasha was batshit. She incredibly talented, but just kind of not the person you'd want to be friends with. And then the other end of the spectrum, like Jamie Wolf, who was pretty solid guy. And then I liked the fact that they were hiding a giant secret for all these years, right? So to me, that was they were a very interesting unit. Eridani Lighthorse, I liked just because of their history, right? Because we have so many examples in real world where, they started as a unit of one of the major houses, and then eventually left the major house because of political and philosophical differences, and formed an independent mercenary unit. And we've seen that with the Janissaries and other examples through history of units that have kind of moved out of governmental control into being their own entities. And so I like that history for Erdani. And then things like the Fifth Sword of Light in the Kurita, just a storied, wonderful unit, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay.